it's become a much bigger ecosystem than that, with every sort of marketer and professional and agency person in town.
The leading source for PR and comms professionals is in the conversation once again. It's no surprise that PRWeek and Campaign will be on the ground at Cannes Lion, and NYSE will be there to talk all the action. Steve Barrett, VP and Editorial Director of PRWeek and Campaign, joins me to talk about everything Cannes Lion and beyond. Steve, how much are you looking forward to Cannes Lion this year?
I'm looking forward to it, Laura. Nobody believes you when you say it's a hard week of work, because you're on the Côte d'Azur and it's a beautiful setting. But it is a busy, crazy busy week, and I'm looking forward to it. You always come away inspired, tired but inspired. So yeah, it's going to be a great week.
One of the largest global congregations of creative comms industry. So PRWeek and Campaigns at the front of the action. What can we expect?
Yeah, first thing to make clear is it's not the Cannes Film Festival. Okay, that's already happened, and that's a different Hollywood type event. Although there's more Hollywood coming into marketing and communications, so there will be celebrities there from the sporting world, from the entertainment world, because all the worlds are meshing with PR comms, influencers, creators. It's difficult to sort of say what a media outlet is anymore. You know, we know that from being in the media. So it's a very exciting week. We'll be covering the Cannes Lions. Okay, that's the currency. These gold lions that everybody is competing for the best work. So if you win a lion, you will see lots of people in the bars and parading down the Croisette, which is the promenade, very happy. They may be having a glass of rosé or champagne, and those happen each evening. But it's become a much bigger ecosystem than that, with every sort of marketer and professional and agency person in town, because it used to be just the creatives who went. And, you know, frankly, it was a little bit of a boondoggle, but it was a nice celebration of creativity, and it still is. It's become much more serious now in terms of the brands, the corporations, their chief marketing officers, their chief communications officers, they're all in town as well. And they'll be discussing creativity, but also the big changes. We all know about AI and how it's revolutionizing everything, but it's certainly revolutionizing marketing and communication. So it'll be interesting to see whether any of the winning campaigns are actually using AI in an effective and interesting way. But lots of other elements as well. These are interesting times, and communications and marketing is more important than ever. So getting your brand story right is crucial. It's just a smorgasbord of creativity that comes at you, and you come out of it trying to work out what the next 12 months is going to hold and what the big trends are and what's the stuff that's just flotsam and jetsam.
And PRWeek and Campaign have to be that honest retelling of all of these intersections you're speaking of, whether it's the business of sports, the business of celebrity and influence into advertising and creative comms. So how do you feel your groups are kind of evolving with how, as you said, interesting these times are?
Well, it's interesting you mentioned sports, because that's kind of a safe area where everyone can kind of agree. You know, it doesn't matter what your politics are if you support a particular team or a franchise. So that's a safe area. It's also an area where people still watch in a mass audience, right? Because streaming and the way people consume media and content has changed completely. They're snacking on content, but if you've got the big game, you've got to be watching it in real time. That's good news for advertisers, because they can reach a big audience at one time, and it's good news for, we call PR earned media, which means it's media that you don't pay for, but you might remember the Super Bowl a few years ago, the dunking in the dark, when the lights went out.
Yes.
And Oreo put out their social team was on site and put out this dunking in the dark activation. It was massive, right? It didn't cost them anything. It was earned media. So but it's very creative but you have to move a lot quicker. In the old days, you'd take 6-9 months to create an ad. You've got to be much swifter now, and AI is kind of supercharging that as well.
You yourself have been in the industry for quite some time. So what do you think's kept you here all these years?
Well, it changes every year. So you're right. I have been around a long time, 25 years. Had a full head of hair when I started. I mean, there was no smartphones, there was no social media. So the industry's changed amazingly. Print ads, magazine ads, sadly, are not as big a force as they used to be. So it's changed. You know, brands are operating on TikTok, they're on Snap, Facebook, whatever. it's much quicker and there's many more activations and it's much more technology led. So you can't really be an effective marketer now without being totally up to speed with technology. So a lot of the platforms will have beach sites in Cannes where they'll display their wares and interact with their potential clients and customers and just put on shows, and have interesting discussions.
It will be quite the robust week at Cannes Lions. So what are you most looking forward to?
I'm most looking forward to our event on Thursday night, which PRWeek's putting on with Monumental Sports and Entertainment. Zach Leonsis, who's president there, will be in a fireside chat with myself. We'll have a VIP reception on the roof, which I think you're coming along to.
I think it's on my calendar.
Yes, if we can, it'd be great to see you there. And we'll talk about the sports opportunity. The Monumental owns the Wizards, the Capitals, and other sports franchises, esports. It's just such a burgeoning area, and we'll have a real great discussion with Zach about that, and then discuss it with in good company to round the week off. So yeah, but I'm looking forward to that.
Wonderful. Well, I appreciate your expertise on all things creative comms and otherwise, and I look forward to seeing you guys there.